And joining us now, Jonathan Greenblatt. He's the CEO and National Director of the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL. Jonathan, thanks so much for joining us. As you well know, as all of us know, a few months ago, college presidents from Harvard, MIT, and the University of Pennsylvania all faced national scrutiny over this specific issue. And now Columbia University officials are unequivocally saying that calls for the genocide of Jews violate their code of conduct. Are you satisfied, at least so far, with today's testimony from what you've heard?
Well, I will say a few things, Wolf. Number one, I am pleased to see Congress using its oversight authority and holding college presidents and university officials accountable to ensuring that all students, irrespective of their faith or their ethnicity, are protected and supported on their campuses. Secondly, I was glad to see President Shafiq's op-ed in the Wall Street Journal yesterday. I've seen her cite ADL data already this morning, and I just appreciate her acknowledging what seems to me a pretty basic fact that some of her colleagues failed at in December, that calling for the genocide against Jews or any group of people is incompatible with the university's values. But I think ultimately, Wolf, we will judge President Shafiq in Columbia, not just on what she says, but on what she does. It was good earlier or late last year when they suspended one of the pro-Hamas groups on campus. They must continue to enforce their policies at Columbia to make sure that all their students are safe.
And beyond that, Jonathan, what other steps do you want to see Columbia University and other universities, for that matter, take to keep Jewish, Muslim, Arab students on campus safe?
Well, let's be clear that anti-Semitism specifically is an exploding problem on all these campuses. We released our audit yesterday of incidents in 2023, nearly 750 on these campuses last year. That is a massive increase over the previous year. So yes, all students, irrespective of how they pray or where they worship, need to be safe. And yet anti-Semitism is a clear and present danger in these places. So what should they do? Well, we released a report card last week grading the schools, including Columbia, which unfortunately got a D. What should it do? Number one, add anti-Semitism to the DEI trainings that you offer all the students. Number two, simply enforce the rules. And if students incite violence against their peers, they should be suspended. Number three, time and place for protests. You should be able to exercise your freedom of speech. You should be able to say highly controversial things. But if your idea of liberating Palestine involves harassing students walking to Hillel or spitting on Jewish kids wearing a Jewish star necklace, I'm sorry, doesn't belong at Columbia or anywhere else for that matter.
I quickly want to ask you about the very controversial decision by the University of Southern California, the decision to cancel its Muslim valedictorian speech at this year's graduation ceremony. The University of Southern California said, and I'm quoting now, "To be clear, this decision has nothing to do with freedom of speech. There is no free speech entitlement to speak at a commencement. The issue here is how best to maintain campus security and safety, period," end quote. CNN spoke to the student last night, Jonathan. I want you to listen to her response to this controversial decision.
I think the thing that is at the core of this is that it's not about my speech, right? And reinstating my speech is only part of the battle here. I think something more important to consider is the implications and the social commentary behind this decision and what it points to in terms of the university's values. Creating an environment in which I'm revoked by my speech privileges comments to the university's commitment to academic security, academic integrity, and academic discourse.
She's the valedictorian. Are you concerned by the University of Southern California's decision, Jonathan?
I give USC an A on this decision, Wolf. The fact that this woman is a Muslim has nothing to do with it. They have asked her not to speak because if you look at her actual statement, she calls, for example, for the destruction of the state of Israel. She says, for example, that the Zionism to which so many of her Jewish classmates, believe in is an ideology of racism and other things that are just not true. So let's be clear. Like, I think the university is doing the right thing in saying our speakers on our platform that we choose to elevate should represent all of our students. And this woman clearly does not represent all of USC.
But she's the valedictorian. And
There are other
valedictorians
valedictorians too.
You usually speak at these commencement appearances.
But again, like, if you violate the values of the institution, you have to face the consequences. She's entitled to her views. She's not entitled to a stage. Let her give her speech standing on a soapbox on the corner of the street.